So hello and welcome to the June edition of the Amsterdam Film Show. My name's Kathy Leung and thank you for joining us, David Swatling.
Hey, it's great to be back, Kathy.
The Amsterdam Film Show, we cover special film events each month, the new releases in the Netherlands, our highlights, not all of them. And we'll try and give you a mix of highbrow and lowbrow options.
As usual.
Yeah. And then a couple of film reviews, so we'll look at those in depth. So we've got two reviews for you. David's seen a film, I've seen a film. What have you seen, David?
I've seen Love, Simon.
Oh yes, yeah.
Which I actually saw when I was in the States a couple of months ago.
Yeah, quite a while back, but it's only just coming out here.
That's right, and I've got a very clear memory of it.
Yeah, and I've seen a kind of drama comedy called Don't Worry, He Won't Get Far on Foot, starring Joaquin Phoenix. So recording today, we have a bit of background noise of building in the neighbourhood. Sorry about that, just ignore it.
It's not so bad. Pay attention to us.
It's real Amsterdam atmosphere. Let's start with some film events. Now, there's a recurring series, of course, the Cine Expat series.
Oh, right.
At the Cine Centre. Now, we don't always highlight these, but this one looks like a good one. It's following a young woman in her 30s, and she's just having trouble settling down in her life in Paris. And it's called Jeune Femme. So the Cine Expat series, they show foreign films with English subtitles.
Yeah, which, I mean, that's part of the reason for many years in this country I almost never went to see foreign films because my Dutch subtitle reading was not good enough.
Yeah. They tend to have some really serious ones in this series, in the Cine Expat series recently. This one's a little bit more light-hearted, I feel. But still, it's had very good reviews, Jeune Femme, from Mark Kermode of The Guardian and the BBC. He gave it 5 stars.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. So that is part of the Cine Expat series. On Sunday the 10th of June, they have the screening with the English subtitles. They have a drink before the film and chat afterwards, so that's very social. But if you can't make that, it's also screening at Lab 111 during June with English subtitles. So there's a lot of love for this film, I think.
Yeah. And Lab 111 is becoming a really important presence in film here.
Yeah, they went through a low phase of just doing a small number of films a lot, but now they've really widened their programme. Oh, we should get down there.
Where is it again?
It's not far. It's in Amsterdam West, and it's kind of not that far from Callahan.
Oh, right.
But it's hidden, and it's an old physics laboratory. But they've got a bar and a restaurant there as well.
I know that. I know that complex. Yeah. It's a great little place.
If you think of the Jacob van Lennenkade, and it's kind of hidden behind some back streets there.
Exactly.
It's a bit of an adventure to get there, Lab 111.
It's my neighbourhood, so I know it well. Yeah.
The cinema itself, it hasn't got a cosy feel. It's a little bit like a kind of lecture room. It hasn't got your... Yeah.
Well, isn't it the theatre that is an old operating theatre?
Probably. Yeah.
So it's a little bit clinical, but that sometimes works.
Yeah, exactly. So, look out. There'll be more events going on at Lab 111. Plug for them. Including our next film event, which they're doing a series of Gus Van Sant films.
Oh, I love Gus Van Sant.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So throughout June, they've selected several films. Good Will Hunting, Milk, My Own Private Idaho, which is probably his oldest one that they've picked out in this program.
Brilliant film. If you've not seen it, really.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I think it's incredible. Yeah.
It's like we all had the poster on our wall when we were
that was because
teenagers.
Keanu was so young and beautiful.
Yeah. And then another film by Gus Van Sant, the director, Elephant. So there's a good selection there showing throughout June and multiple screenings. And I think they've chosen him, obviously, because he's the director of a new release this month.
Which you saw, right?
Yeah, which I saw. Don't Worry, He Won't Get Far on Foot. So that's why they've chosen him. And that's the series going on throughout the month at Lab 111. So, Love, Simon is out in the Netherlands on the 14th of June, and David's seen it.
I was lucky enough to be in the States when it opened at the end of March.
6 ages ago.
I know it was, and that's the odd thing about it opening so late here. There was such a big deal about it opening in the States. There was so much social media and so many events surrounding it, and a lot of news. That's faded so much that people here, probably have thinking, oh, that must have screened here ages ago. I must have missed it. But it's opening for the first time here in the middle of this month. You have the brief little description of what the film's about.
Yeah, so according to IMDb, Simon Spear keeps a huge secret from his family, his friends, and all of his classmates. He's gay. When that secret is threatened, Simon must face everyone and come to terms with his identity.
Now, that's the simple line. The thing is, this was the first mainstream Hollywood movie to feature a gay main character, especially a teenage gay main character. He's in high school in Atlanta, Georgia. And now here, we think of films going back like 20 years to Beautiful Thing, a British film which had two young gay guys and was a big hit here. And, but in America, the fact that this is a mainstream Hollywood movie with a gay central main character, it just has never been done before. All the other films you think about, like Brokeback Mountain, or more recently, Call Me by Your Name, or Moonlight, they're all independents.
Okay,
so
right.
This was a studio film, using actors from the Disney World. I mean, Nick Robinson, the boy who plays the lead, was in Jurassic World for Disney. It's a big thing, the fact that it's never been done. As a matter of fact, it was felt to be so important that a lot of leading actors, gay actors like Neil Patrick Harris, Matt Bomer, the guy from Modern Family, bought out screenings of the film in their hometown to make it available to especially queer kids, but straight kids too, to anybody who wanted to see it, so the movie would get seen more. As it turned out, that wasn't so necessary because people flocked to it right away. It had a huge opening in the States, and there's a reason. I loved this movie. I was going for support. It's like one of those old John Carpenter films with Molly Ringwald. John Carpenter?
No, John Hughes. Everyone's saying
yes. I say John Carpenter, John Hughes.
Opposite.
No. No one is killed in this movie. No one is killed in the making of this movie. It's John Hughes. The romantic comedies, Pretty in Pink and Breakfast Club and those kinds of things with teens, except that the Molly Ringwald character happens to be a gay boy. What's different about it is it's not sickening sweet. The director, who is Greg Berlanti, who's most famous for Dawson Creek, the TV series, has hired the two writers who write this TV series, This Is Us, which is one of the most popular American TV series at the moment. They're very, very, very good. And it's based on a young adult novel. It is delightful. I mean, it's a rom-com. And the thing is, Simon, he's in the closet as a teenager in high school, but it's not that he's like all angst, oh my god, I'm gay, I'm going to die. No, he discovers he's gay, but he doesn't want things to change while he's still in high school. It's a senior year, and he wants to get through high school with the least amount of drama possible. Unfortunately for him, their drama does become involved, and it comes along two lines. One, he develops a crush in a chat room for someone who turns out to be in his area, in his school, probably. But their identities are hidden, so he doesn't know who it is. So part of the movie is him trying to find out which of the possible guys he might be falling in love with.
Yeah.
And then there's another plot where his identity as a gay guy is threatened, and everyone's going to know, and what's that going to do to him? And the thing is, you're rooting for them all the way through. There's a lot of music. There's even a couple of rather funny little musical sequences that lift it. But they've chosen music from today. Music kids are listening to now. Don't ask me because I don't know the names of the groups now or the songs. But it's got a great musical soundtrack, and it's just it really flies by.
So that's in Amsterdam from the 14th of June. So also in cinemas from the 14th of June is the Gus Van Sant film Don't Worry, He Won't Get Far on Foot.
Great title.
I think it's based on the book it's based on by John Callahan, who the film is all about, John Callahan. If you don't know, he's kind of a cartoonist. So his story is, on the rocky path to sobriety after a life-changing accident, John Callahan discovers the healing power of art, willing his injured hands into drawing hilarious, often controversial cartoons, which bring him a new lease on life.
Oh.
So it's starring Joaquin Phoenix as the main lead role, John Callahan. I saw the trailer before I saw the press screening, and I thought it was really funny. It's going to be really entertaining. And I'm afraid to say I was kind of disappointed.
Oh.
So it's definitely well acted, you know, and these guys, they know what they're doing. They've been around, they've produced lots of good films. But it drags on a bit, this story, and it goes backwards and forwards with lots of, flashbacks, and, the narrative order is basically really up and down. So, it's backwards and forwards. I don't really like that as a gimmick unless there's a meaning, a purpose to it. There wasn't any tension. You didn't discover anything new or make any kind of remarkable, so it was just confusing.
Yeah, well, it sounds like that. When a film is based on someone's real life, and there's the incident that changes their life, that makes it, and then they want to get all this information in from the backstory beforehand, and also give the actor a chance to, the way he was, the way he is now, to see that, and that kind of an arc can be confusing, especially. I mean, it can work great in a book, but to see it on film, it can be messy.
It feels more like a labour of love, more of a passion project. The people behind the film obviously have a lot of love for John Callahan, found his cartoons really funny. So he's got this icon, in their lives or in their memories and stuff, on their culture, and they're celebrating this story. So that it's kind of like a pet project, really. And there's also, I think, to an element, a lot of people who really love Portland, Oregon, perhaps, or have got ties to Portland, Oregon. I think a lot of the actors or a lot of people involved.
Well, that's where Gus Van Sant lives, I believe, in Portland, Oregon. I wonder, I mean, I was going to go with you, but I couldn't because of an appointment. But then I read more about what it was about, and I thought, I'm so glad I didn't have to go. Because nothing turns me off a book or a movie or a TV show faster than Alcoholics Anonymous, the organization AA, and the whole 12-step program thing. I know all the vocabulary, but I hate it. It makes every story seem the same. It's always because of the wonders of AA. And it takes away the importance or the person doing it themselves. I mean, I heard that Jonah Hill is brilliant as the AA guy.
He's not brilliant. There's one or two scenes where he's quite moving, but they're really short, actually, and I think they're towards the end of the film. I think it's just because we're used to him playing the clown or whatever, but no, not remarkable performance. And I don't think you would have liked it really then, because there was a lot of the steps. There's a lot of the AA steps in this, and the group and all their stories as well. It's a big part of this film. There's some great characters. I think Beth Ditto, who was part of Gossip, she's very good in this, but she's only a small part of the group in Alcoholics Anonymous. It's not a very good quality film, if you say that. When I say photography, so to look at, it just looks blur, nothing special. There's a lot of noise on the screen, and things. And I think the notes say that the team behind the film wanted to get more of a documentary feel, but actually, documentaries these days are very nicely shot, and they actually look good.
That's actually a rather old excuse for low budget techniques. And these days, no, documentaries are really well done these days.
Yeah. But the saving grace is the performance by Joaquin Phoenix. So that's my feeling on Don't Worry, You Won't Go Far on Foot. It's not as funny as the trailer makes out, but you like Joaquin Phoenix, maybe you'll like it more than I did. The new cinema releases. So as I said, not all of them, just what we've picked out are highlights, some highbrow, some lowbrow. So first of all, from the 7th of June, you've got the blockbuster Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
I can't wait for that one.
Aren't you losing track?
I know. It's Jurassic World. There was the original one, and then there was a couple of others, I guess. I don't know. But then the new Jurassic World.
Yeah, so there's a difference between the Jurassic Park and then this kind
Jurassic
of new
Park
phase.
were the old ones with David Attenborough.
Yeah.
Jurassic World are the new ones with Chris Pratt.
Yes, Chris Pratt. I was going to say Chris Pratt's back. It's more about the dinosaurs are back.
It's dinosaurs and Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
He's so funny. He's so charming. He's so engaging. He's so attractive. He drives the movie more than David Attenborough used to before. I mean,
all the fucking dinosaurs.
Exactly. I hope it's good because sometimes a really great blockbuster or entertaining movie like Jurassic World comes back and they overcomplicate.
From the trailer, it looks like they've got more of a baddie type character. That's a bit more evil type because I think they're training them up to be weapons or something. Maybe.
Because Jurassic World was just on TV recently, so I saw it again. And at the end, B.D. Wong's character does get away with samples. Yeah. So even though all the other baddies, get eaten.
So that's kind of the action movie of the month, I'd say. You've got another film from the 7th of June. I wasn't going to mention it, but some local groups, I think, like there's a new Bookshop group that I'm part of, the Bucket List Bookshop and Reading Group. I think the Amsterdam Mamas Book and Film Club. There's various people who are into this. I think Waterstones have picked it out because it's a film about a bookshop.
Oh, what's it called?
It's called The Bookshop. It's just a period Brit drama, and I would say, think chocolat, but with banned books. If you see what I mean?
Okay.
In a small town. Mm-hmm. And it does star Bill Nighy.
Oh, great. He's great.
Yeah. Can lift any film. Then from the 14th of June, as well as the Love, Simon and Don't Worry, He Won't Get Far on Foot, you also have Hereditary.
Oh, yeah. I saw the trails for that. It looked spooky.
Or even as some of the stills look,
Yeah, it's really spooky. It looks really spooky. And Toni Collette, she's always great in those movies.
Yeah, she really shines in this. There's been absolutely brilliant reviews. So even still, it's still a horror film. So, if you don't like horror, that's you're not going to care that it's had really good reviews. It tempts me, but I'm just like, no, it'll mess with my mind. But there'll certainly be lots of people who can handle horror.
I'm looking forward to it, yeah.
When the matriarch of the Graham family passes away, the grandmother, her daughter's family begins to unravel cryptic and increasingly terrifying secrets about their ancestry. I won't be seeing you in the screens, but I think
I'll be catching it in America.
Later on, from the 21st of June, you've got an art film, an independent movie called Beast. It's a British film. It's starring an actress called Jessie Buckley. Now, she was in the BBC adaptation of War and Peace and some other BBC dramas. I haven't yet seen her in a film, but she's the star in this. I mean, the main actress. And although it's an indie movie, it's still got a kind of a thriller storyline, if I would say. It's a troubled woman living in an isolated community, and she finds herself pulled between the control of her oppressive family and the allure of a secretive outsider suspected of a series of brutal murders. So it's I think it's a fairly rural setting, so there's some nice imagery. Jessie Buckley is a really good actress, I think. So this is one I really wanted to see, and that's out on the 21st of June. Also out from the 21st of June, a big blockbuster, Ocean's 8.
Ah, the prequel.
Yes. Is it a prequel?
Well, there was 11, 12, and 13. Right. Now we're going to Ocean's 8. I don't know if it's a prequel or they just... But it's the female version, right?
Yes. It is totally the female version. So Debbie Ocean, she gathers an all-female crew to attempt an impossible heist at New York City's yearly Met Gala.
Oh no! So the excuse for a cast of all women in outrageous costumes doing something at a fabulous New York location. I don't know. I feel a sense of raspberries in their future.
Oh no, I think it'd be good. I like the trailer.
I don't know, but it might be good trash, but
Yeah.
it really has, the trash potential is very high.
Okay. There's too many actresses to mention really, but starring Sandra Bullock and Kate Blanchett, Anne Hathaway. I think I've read Helena Bonham Carter.
They're all good. They're all great. I don't know. Maybe they pull it off. But sometimes, not that they would sign on for a bad script, but it sounds like it might be fun to do.
Yeah, with all their mates.
Yeah, with their friends, and they're going to get to wear fabulous stuff, and it's just hopefully it'll be fun for the audience to watch.
That's true, and so that's actually out from the 21st of June. But if you're dying to see it, and with lots of girls or women, they are featuring it in the Pathé Chain's Ladies' Night. So they pick out occasionally films that might appeal to the female sex. So that's on Wednesday, the 13th of June, ahead of its release. And that's all across the country, but of course Pathé has several chains in Amsterdam, and they'll be doing the film night, Ladies' Film Night, featuring Ocean's 8 on that night, Wednesday, the 13th of June.
Enjoy.
And you pay a bit more for those tickets, but you do get like a party pack, and I don't know, I think last time I got some shaving cream or something, or you might get some moisturising
lipstick and a glass of champagne.
Yeah, that's it. Some cheap prosecco, And then lastly, at the end of the month, from the 28th of June, we've got another kind of arts film, really, but this one with a higher budget. It's called On Chesil Beach. It's based on a book by Ian McEwan, and I think he's written the screenplay for this, which is not usual that you get the actual novelist also writing the screenplay for the film. But stars Saoirse Ronan. She's so brilliant. She's just amazing on Brooklyn. She had a good year last year with Lady Bird. So this is her next starring role. So it's based on his novel. What's it about?
I don't know. What is it about?
In 1962 England, a young couple find their idyllic romance colliding with issues of sexual freedom and societal pressure, leading to an awkward and fateful wedding night. I think it's had mixed reviews because, what's this? Richard Roper of the Chicago Sun-Times, I love this, he says, "What a prestigious, understated, classy inducement to take a nap." It's great.
Oh, I thought we were mean sometimes.
Yeah. I think it's very highbrow, but not necessarily very good. Yeah.
I'm sure it's lovely to look at.
Yeah. So thank you for joining us for the Amsterdam Film Show in June. Have a great summer, David.
Thank you. You too, Kathy, here in Amsterdam. I hope that you haven't wasted summer in the month of May with all this good weather we had last month.
Yeah, it could be a lot of rain for all those outdoor film festivals. Who knows? But as always, if you have any thoughts on films you've seen, you can contact us at info@broadcastamsterdam or tweet us at broadcastams. And if you want any information about some of these films, we've got some links on our website, broadcastamsterdam.nl. We've got a Pinterest board and everything.